Now, chances are, if you've been at work today, if you've used something invented by Ray Tomlinson, who's died at the age of 74. 2.6 billion of us use it, so you're in good company. 205 billion times a day. It was first used, I can't believe this, first used in 1971, and it's still going strong. In 2009, the American radio station NPR asked Mr. Tomlinson what was in the first email.
Well, everybody asked that, and of course I don't remember every single word of it. The main thing is there were lots of test messages. Every time you test, you have to generate some kind of a message, and you might drag your fingers across the keyboard or just type the opening phrase from Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. So technically the first email is completely forgettable and therefore forgotten.
I love the Gettysburg Address, not on the tip of mine or Fliss's tongue, but there we go. Mal Fletcher is a social futurist and joins us now. Hello there, Mal. Good to have you with us.
Hello, Gareth.
Just explain for us, first of all, what is a social futurist?
Well, I look at trends in technology, in ethics and values and so on, and map what they might mean to social organisations in the next 5 to 10 years, whether it's businesses or governments or charities and so on.
Right. Is the email still going strong then? I can't believe it was 71 it was invented, first of all, but is it still going strong?
Yes, it is going strong. I mean, there are signs that in the United States, for example, there's experimentation with social media as a primary form of communication, both within companies and between companies and their customers. So they're looking, if you like, to replace email a little bit. But look, the story of media generally is a story of disruption, and I can't see email becoming extinct anytime soon. No, it will need to adapt in the social media age.
So what sort of things then are companies using social media for that they might have used emails for over the past, say, 30 years or so?
Well, because of the problem with things like time starvation in companies, people feel they can't switch off after work because they're hooked up to their email account. And some companies now are trying to cut down on that. And also the time wastage within the company. In one study here in the UK, 50% of email time was spent answering emails from colleagues within the same company. So in order to cut down on some of those things, they're starting to look at things like Twitter, LinkedIn messaging, even Facebook, as a way of communicating internally and, as I say, with their clients. And of course, because our screens have become more mobile and therefore smaller, there's less room for bulky messages of the type that we tend to get in email. And social media offers us greater levels of interaction. You know, you've got text with video, audio, and soon even virtual reality in social media. And on those grounds, email really can't compete.
Casting our minds backwards instead of forwards for a minute, Mal. 1971, the first email is sent. I guess it's really the marriage of email and the development of the World Wide Web that really made it take off, because presumably until then emails were really for a closed computer system or closed communication system, one presumes.
Yes, indeed. You couldn't send a message to anybody unless they were actually using the same computer. It wasn't until Mr. Tomlinson came along that you could send messages to people on the same system. This is why he's celebrated, along with people like Tim Berners-Lee, the inventor of the World Wide Web, in the Internet Hall of Fame. So a very low-key man, by all accounts, didn't like a great deal of fuss, but invented something that really has changed the way we communicate. It's a far-sighted thing. Think about 1971 was the year when the first personal computer appeared in the world, but that company went bust within 2 years because no one wanted to buy them. So this is a long time before computers on a personal level were really thought about, and certainly long before smartphones, tablets or social media. And yet, as you said earlier in the introduction, email is used by 2.6 billion people today.
It's hard to believe he's not a household name.
It is a bit, and it's one of the things I find refreshing about Ray Tomlinson, though, is that he was a fairly low-key man. He didn't make a great deal of fuss. As he said himself a moment ago in that clip, he couldn't even remember what he'd written in the first email. It was just a string of letters, really. And in more recent times, he has been honoured with a great string of awards, but I find it refreshing in this age of almost ubiquitous celebrity that we've got this man who invents something of huge impact but doesn't really look for notoriety.
I guess the question is, in 1971, as he was busy unleashing this invention, which would soon become something everyone in the world was taking part in, whether he had any idea that that is where it would end up.
Well, I'm not sure that he would have, because in those days, ARPANET, which was the forerunner to our internet, was used mainly in the technology and scientific communities, some in the military, but it wasn't used by the average punter like you and I. And what it has done, though, what it instantly did once it caught on, once we had the gadgets to drive it, was it made communication instant and more convenient. The telephone, it's not text-based. If someone's out, you can leave a very limited message. The fax is not mobile. It doesn't allow easy and quickly response. Email did all of that, and I think it actually built the platform for the social media explosion.
Here we go then, key question, because I'm sure loads of people will have winced when you alluded to people checking their emails at home long after they're supposed to have clocked off from work. Force for good or force for bad?
Well, I think it's like any technology, Gareth, it's what we make of it. I say this way, technology is not destiny, it's how we choose to use it that shapes the future. 60% of people in the United Kingdom who have a smartphone say they answer their emails before they go to sleep and immediately they wake up again. 40% of children in this country who own a smartphone are sleep deprived. So there's certainly some challenges there, but I think there's a lot of good there too, and we rely on it so much every day, it must be doing some good.
Mal, great to speak to you. Thanks for your time. That's Mal Fletcher on the death today of Ray Tomlinson, the man who invented the email. I'm composing one to you, Flish.
Right.
Any chance of a cuppa? Send.